Hello everyone and welcome to the Casting Dead. I'm Matt.
And I'm David.
And today we're going to be talking about Season 8, Episode 3, titled Monsters.
Oh dear.
Who are the monsters, David?
Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein. Did I name them all?
There are some classic monsters,
And
but who
Mummy.
are the monsters pertaining to this episode? I do want to apologize that I am under the weather. Woke up with a very sore throat this morning, and probably
that's what The Walking Dead did to you.
Yeah.
This leaves a sour taste in your mouth after this episode.
some sort of tonsillitis or strep throat. I'd like to hold on to everything, David. I don't want to get rid of anything, and tonsils are one of them because I feel like they're going to come in handy one day.
Are they?
Maybe.
I was excited with the use of ice cream afterwards to get your tonsils removed. Hasn't happened yet. I still have mine.
It's very short-lived. I mean, as a child, yeah, you get that ice cream, but as an adult, I've got my tonsils and I can buy ice cream.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Forget that as an adult.
Yeah.
You still have both your kidneys, though, right? And your appendix?
Yeah, I definitely have both my kidneys. You don't just get rid of your kidneys.
I can go deeper on this, but we could just...
No, I've got everything I was born with.
That's good.
So, the monsters, David. I'm assuming it's another one of those moral crises where what are our heroes turning into? Are they the monsters?
Aye.
Are the saviors the monsters? Is Morgan the monster? Jesus the monster?
Or is Morgan more of a philosopher more than before?
Morgan is just being jerked around left and right here. He's finally crosses over to the side where we need him, where he's going to kill people, and Jesus of all people.
Could we call it the dark side? I don't think it's the dark side.
It's a side. I don't know. It's a side.
It's a recurring theme, though.
Oh yeah,
it's the most recurring theme throughout the entire series, and it's just can you just?
It really only needs to happen once.
I know. But it's always resurfacing. Then it always leads to some internal conflict, and it's an exaggerated internal conflict that doesn't need to happen. And you're
not in the middle of a battle too. Like you don't stop in the middle of a gunfight or the middle of a siege. Not a siege, it's not a siege, but it's some sort of like they're definitely in war times, and you don't stop in the middle of war times to wonder if you should be killing people.
I'd be willing to bet that happened in real life.
Yeah, well, it probably did, but your objectives are very clear, and any misstep you take is going to cost the lives of not only you, but everybody you're fighting for.
Well, I want to say a couple of things before we get into what goes about in the episode, even though we're a little reluctant to it. Remember how we were speaking about how, Judith?
Yes.
You want to guess how many actresses portrayed Judith thus far?
Just guessing, I'll guess 9.
Oh, man, you're pretty close. No,
well, just with babies. I don't know how many babies.
16.
Whoa.
And I'm saying to myself, why is the timeline still off? They keep recasting it. I mean, they just sped up her growth, slowed down Maggie's embryo, and I don't know. I mean, they're still... And they recast Judith, and they still get it wrong. It's kind of funny, but I just don't get it. So it's purposely done, and I'm thinking to myself, these whole time jumps that they've had over, through the course of the last 3 seasons we've been covering this show, it's not adding up properly at all.
No. Day and night, we've had trouble with that. Now they can't even keep ages and pregnancies straight. And, I think Judith was actually credited in the last episode, the flash forward Judith?
Okay, yeah.
As 6-year-old Judith.
Really?
So she was only 6. No, but she was only 6. So I thought she was going to be at least 8.
But what does that tell you, though? I mean, whether this is a fantasy or a flash forward. So Rick obviously doesn't die. He just, has a hard time walking later. Carl doesn't change, doesn't cut his hair, and neither does Michonne. So this is like a spoiler in a manner of speaking. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, if they decide to go that way, there's definitely hints in the comics. Not even hints, just flat out storylines in the comics, which kind of conclude what's going on here, but I don't know if they're going to follow.
Yeah, well, I mean, but just every time there's going to be tension with Rick's life being at risk, I'll be like, well, no, we saw him be an old man, so I think we're okay. So I don't know. It's just it doesn't for Carl, for Michonne, for Judith. We know they're going to be okay in the end, and they're going to be in Alexandria. So it's
Yeah, but you know that they could easily just erase that and make it all just a...
I don't know, not the way I remember
Rick's fantasy as he's dying. You know, just dreaming ahead. He's kind of going to heaven. This is his heaven.
Whatever.
Being with his family in a place where there's no war. I guess he Yeah,
and an owl.
I don't know. It could be. Yeah, I mean, they signify death, so it could be. It could all be.
Oh, they
do?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that.
It could be like if they're getting rid of Andrew Lincoln at the end of the season, maybe they're just setting us up for it.
Maybe.
Pull the wool over everybody's eyes. Who knows?
But yeah, I just wanted to mention the whole Judah thing because that was more relevant 2 episodes ago. But still, I just looked it up and it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, my concerns for going to this episode, I was really worried about Tobin. He got shot last week, and I was like, no, not the everyman.
Tobin got shot? I don't even remember.
Yeah, Tobin got shot right in the shoulder. How do you not remember?
Oh, yeah, he's okay.
He's one of the best secondary characters of the show right now. The best.
Tertiary characters, I'll say.
Oh no, he's the everyman. You don't have to have one eye or wield a sword or have a hatchet. Act crazy once in a while and go back on your morals every so often. He's the consistent everyman that every cat should have.
That's true. Just wear a plaid shirt and follow the lead.
That's how I get up in the morning. Yeah, that's right. I just wear a plaid shirt and get up.
What are we doing today? Are we killing today or are we not killing? Not killing. Okay.
I support you anyway.
I'll leave my gun in my drawer.
But I'm glad to see he was okay. So I was deeply concerned.
Well,
Tobin's all right.
Tobin's
gonna have a spinoff.
Yeah, but that's more than we can say for Aaron's boyfriend, who I can never remember his name.
You don't know. We didn't see what happened.
Oh, he died.
We don't know for sure.
He turned into a walker.
We didn't show it.
We did show it. We showed it from the back.
They showed it in the clearing for over 1,000 yards.
Were you watching this on your phone or were you watching it on a TV?
Because I was watching it on TV.
You watch it on TV, you can see him.
Literally, after everybody's death, it turns into a walker. You literally see distinguishability to say, like, oh, they turned into a walker, we have to go shoot him or something. With Eric, they decided to be like, you know what? We're not giving him that effort. We're just going to make him go dance in fields. And that's it.
Yeah, because you don't need
it might not even be him.
It for sure is. I mean, for someone like Eric, you're not going to pull the wool over people's eyes and bring back Eric later and be like, oh, he was okay the whole time.
But they did it for everybody else.
Yeah, but I think they're just showing that it's not that important. Like all these deaths, like people are going to die.
Show it.
People are going to die, and it's not going to be as hard of a reality for everybody. It's he left his gun, so in no way would Eric get up and walk away and leave his gun if he was still alive.
Which he should have shot himself with.
Yeah, but it's probably not as easy to just shoot yourself, especially with a shotgun.
Yeah, well, you put it
or a rifle. I don't know what it was, but it was a very long.
It's an assault rifle. Yeah, no, that's hard to pull the trigger on, especially when you're holding your clot of blood.
Yeah, you got to do it with your toes.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying there was no elaboration on it. I'm just like, well, what decides in the writing room to say like, you know what, we're not giving Eric any elaboration. He's just going to be onto a field, and that's that.
Well, but did anybody ever care about Eric, or did we just care about how Aaron felt about Eric? I think people just cared about Aaron, and so instead of putting the focus on Eric's death and him being a walker, you put the focus on Aaron and how he's dealing with it.
I know it's been recycled. I know this has been, this technique has been recycled so many times where someone dies and they're like, there's a significant other dies and they have to kill the walker stuff. I just feel like it's the closure that the show goes through and just they robbed out of Aaron.
Yeah, I did find it kind of weird that Aaron didn't kill.
Exactly. Yeah.
His boyfriend.
That's right.
Kind of weird. Do you want to get into the episode?
Well, we could do what we're doing. It's fine. I mean, yeah, we do have to have some structure.
We need to officially get into it. I didn't know. As I said, I'm sick.
It all starts with Dip to Black right now. That's how it starts.
Dip to Black? What does that even mean?
Ezekiel's...
well, I need to understand what that phrase means. Dip to black.
Well, dip to black. It kind of dissolves to black,
Like fade to black?
Yeah, you could do that too. You could say that too.
You never dip to black. I've never heard
to black. It totally exists.
It does not.
Yes, it do not say it. No. You've been off lately, and I'm telling you, dip to black does happen.
Not in this world.
Oh, it does. David. It does. No, it does.
So, but if you are talking about the weird editing,
as usual, because I don't know, it's been so noticeable these days.
It was very off-putting. I didn't like it at all. They tried the faces the last time, didn't really work for me. This time it was just the like Ocean's 11 theme of this opening.
Yeah, okay.
Where it's like, oh, are they, they're done for, they're surrounded, you hear the whistling, that's the saviors coming at them again. But then you'd cut back and be like, oh, we're going to have a plan.
We have strategy.
We have one thing that they don't have. And that strategy is just, we'll have a couple of our people hiding in the bushes.
Yeah, it's guerrilla warfare, crossfire.
It's not like, it's not a Ocean's 11 scale of heist, though. It's let's have a couple people hiding in the woods, and then let's keep doing that for every other instance that we come across, because you saw it happen again a little later. More people hiding in the bushes.
Yeah, no, it is a simple tactic, but it is effective. But horribly edited is the point I want to elaborate.
Yeah. Yeah, it was too dramatic for what it was. It was like, I don't care. And Ezekiel, his assuredness that they are not going to lose a single man is going to be what brings them down and what makes them lose men.
Yeah, it's a high stake to put there. It's like, I guarantee no one's going to go down. It's like, well, those are high stakes he's putting up there. It's, I think he got caught up playing king too often.
Yeah, I think what was what was the thing he kept saying? Like, not one rank lost or something?
Not rank will fall. Oh, no, not will fall. Yeah, you're right. No, one rank. No, yeah, whatever.
Anyway, they didn't lose anybody, and he was very pleased that they didn't lose anyone. And then we have Rick and Morales talking about morals and talking about
Morales,
what they've done, what they had to do to survive. It's been 7 years. And Morales, he did say something that I enjoyed. This is something I was thinking. It's like, what does it matter that they knew each other? They knew each other for a couple weeks at most. Like, what does it really matter after 7 years, after everything they've been through? And Morales just puts it all up on Front Street about that. He's like, really, Rick, would you not have shot me just because you knew me a few days 7 years ago?
Well,
or however long ago?
I didn't care about his appearance, to be honest, so I guess they were addressing it. I just wanted to point out one thing, though. So what was that thing in the mirror, Matthew? Was it nothing, like I told you?
Could have been Daryl. Could have been Daryl standing there the whole time and then eventually just shooting him. And thank God he shot him.
He did. But the thing is that, okay, I just like to say, this is like the worst scene I've ever seen on the history of the show, I think.
How?
Is it that interaction with Morales? It was weird. He was acting terribly. I just felt like his role was not convincing at all. Like, at all. And I'm watching this, I'm just like, okay, just die, please. Just please die.
Yeah.
There was nothing coming about this. Nothing.
No, you can see Rick almost got through to him when he mentioned, Glenn got killed and Andrea, and how the widow that they're after is
He didn't mention Dale. I was really offended. You should have mentioned Dale. Everybody loved Dale. How did you forget about Dale? It's so
you're right.
I was wondering if that's just a shot they're taking because, he was a big, Darabouts loyal in a way. So, like, the show does not just want to neglect him that he even existed.
Yeah. I don't know. Completely erase him from the history of it. But no, this whole I'm glad it didn't go on any longer than it did. It already went on too long.
Yeah, it dragged on.
And it felt like some fan service, just having Daryl shoot him with the arrow and be like, we going?
Yeah, finally. Yeah, it's like, move on. Who cares? Yeah. And I don't know how. Okay, I can understand Rick maybe gets upset at Daryl like later on as what happens, but here he kind of he gets upset. He briefly gets upset at Daryl for shooting him. I'm like, well, no, I mean, like, he had a gun to you and he was going to kill you, so that totally warrants an hour to the head.
But I believe that Rick didn't want to. He wanted.
Yeah, clearly, yeah. I agree.
But I think he knew deep down that he had to.
Right.
So, Daryl did him a solid there.
Yeah.
Now Rick can take the moral high ground, and
the morale is high ground.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just for all those people who were waiting 7 years for Morales to come back. I feel like they're probably a little let down, but
especially you kept calling it.
Yeah, but at least there's no like Morales backstory.
No.
3 episodes devoted to how he got indoctrinated into the Saviors.
But I feel like it was. But you don't feel like overall. I don't want to stay too long on this scene. But don't you feel like it was just a lazy scene? They just did it for the crap, just for the shits.
I mean, I don't think they had to write very much. Just take a scene that they've used in the past and change some names around.
Pretty much, because when the governor came back, like when they had the four standalone episodes of the governor. And, his right-hand man kind of made a comeback. I kind of liked that as a recurring character, which worked a lot better. And then to see his demise was really good.
Yeah. And
I feel like they couldn't bring something intelligent for Morales.
Yeah.
Even though they knew, like, he was there for, like, what, 3 or 4 episodes, not even?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like what we got with Morales in this season was just enough.
It was.
I didn't want any more. Not if it was going to be
like that. No,
like
exactly.
this.
Exactly. But what if it was better? Like, would you have said much more? Would you have? Had
well, it's like Morales' character is kind of like what can he offer this story? I mean, if he's a spy now, we've already got Daryl's twin as a spy. What's his name?
Well, yeah, Merle. But like,
no, not his actual twin. The other guy in the Saviors who has the crossbow.